Hello to my high achievers. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Dr. Mo Show. I'm your host, Dr. Mo. My full name is Maureen Gibbons. I am an MD. I am not your doctor here. I'm your doctor if you are our patient at AMS Telehealth, or if you happen to, God forbid, end up in an emergency medicine situation and I'm there. Here, we're going to talk about a difficult topic for me and a difficult topic for a lot of you: transitions and transformation. I changed from a career in traditional emergency medicine to lifestyle medicine and full-time coaching. I have been some sort of coach for over 25 years and now do that full-time. And I also founded a lifestyle medicine practice called AMS, Active Medical Solutions, and amstelehealth.com is that site. That's where you can find us if you'd like the medical care. A lot of our medical care is also centered around coaching because we believe that the best way to reach your potential is to have all the support you need, whether that is from medication or community or accountability. My coaching services are an adjunct to that. So although my medical care, our medical care at AMS is limited by state, my coaching is not. That is global. So my journey was threaded with fear and uncertainty. I was very excited about what I was doing on my lifestyle medicine practice side because finally I could put into place all of that personal and professional wellness that I'd worked on for over 2 decades at the time. When I was working in emergency medicine, I was a nocturnist for almost 15 years full time, which means I worked overnight. Most of my career was in a level 2 trauma center that I absolutely love and adore. Loved my job, loved the people, loved the environment. It started to not love me back, which is why we have such high rates of burnout in emergency medicine, especially now. And there came a point where I didn't fit the mold. So I was actually taken out of that position and put into a less, I was taken out of that position and put into a slower pace environment. And that transition was very difficult for me. Number one, because it wasn't my decision, and my ego had some things to say about that. And number two, it was very different. And it wasn't what I knew to be my emergency medicine career. However, at the same time, my soul sighed at the ability to be a coach, step into this role, embrace it, have the extra time, have the extra energy to do so. And I could foster my love of personal and professional development in a different environment. So, although the leaving was terrifying and I lost half my hair, I got shingles, I had stomach aches, I lost too much weight. There were some things that it was not pretty. I wish I had had someone to understand the emotional toll, the financial toll, the health toll for sure of a life transition like this. And instead of what will I do when, embracing the way the journey went. And that's what I help other people do. So by being the person that I wish I had had, I hope other people's transition doesn't take 18 months like it did for me. We can do it 3, 6, we kind of can cruise through, embrace the situation, and remain flexible while working with the new opportunities that we have, because it has led me to the most amazing places for growth and fulfillment. My lifestyle medicine practice, my role in that is changing again. We have a software product coming out to help entrepreneurs in the healthcare space. But my coaching is where I just love to do it. That's not something I want to outsource. That's the part I love. This is the part I love. Giving back to what I wish I would have had. If you have a coach, put them in the comments because I like to kind of compile. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. We know this. Everyone on my lives certainly know this. That I want to know who are the people that have helped you through a transition and gotten you to the other side. There are so many good coaches out there. But my story personally, I realized looking back that the mindset, of course, that's my first book, Happy First. The mindset is the base. The mindset is the floor. It is the way we look at things that creates our external world. Indisputable. The way I coach is based on a three-legged table. The top of the table is a life that you don't need to vacation from. And actually, that also means you don't need to retire from it. The next episode, I'd like to talk about retirement because I really dislike that word. And I'll explain why in the next episode. But the top of the table is that castle, that dream, that condo, whatever it is, a life you don't need to vacation from. Now, the problem is if that table is not stable, if you got a wonky table, one of those three legs is shorter than the other, what happens to the life on that table is it crashes, right? So those three legs are financial, health, and service and relationships. Yes, I try to sneak two of them in there, but it's really service, right? Because your relationships are how you show up in service to other people, whether that's your boss, your spouse, your child, your pets, even how you show up in service to the world. So those are my three prongs, three legs of the table in my coaching. Going through my story and my journey and the emotional toll, the physical toll that I went through transitioning from a traditional medical environment to a very non-traditional entrepreneurship. I am a serial entrepreneur, as my dad says at heart. I didn't realize this until he's like, this is about the 12th company you've started. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess it is. And some of them were actually even successful, which is pretty cool. But what happens is I see a need out there and I fill it, right? Even as a medical student, I created this program called Get Fed Up. It was called Preventative Health in the Emergency Department. And we would have medical school volunteers come in, medical student volunteers come in. And while patients were waiting in the rooms for the doctor to come in or waiting for test results, they would hand them pamphlets that had information about preventative health. So to help them learn about nutrition, learn about exercise safely, learn about, what do I talk to my doctor about? And this was 20, 25 years ago. And I love doing that. I love finding a need, helping people create an amazing life. And I knew in the middle of my transition, it was so hard. The easiest thing to do, which is exactly what my husband told me one day, about 6 months after, he said, it would have been so much easier for you to go back and just get another job in an ER, work until we saved enough money for you to retire. That would have been the easy path. But I feel like even speaking about that path would have killed my soul. Not because I didn't love emergency medicine. I absolutely love emergency medicine. But I had a good friend tell me, you are emergency medicine, but you are not only emergency medicine. And I had more to offer. I think I had more to offer to my physician group, the nurses, the techs, the administrative staff in the ER. I had more to offer to the public, whether that's my second book that's coming out in 2025, this kind of podcast, my coaching services, our software, the things I am doing right now feed my soul. I do still work on the ground in the emergency department, the slower paced one that I was appropriately relocated to. But I'm also out here doing these things to help not just healthcare professionals, but we all know burnout is not isolated to healthcare, and it's not isolated to your job. So that three-pronged approach would have helped me tremendously during my path. It would have helped me have streetlights, guideposts, street signs. Instead, I was at times floundering in the dark by myself. Whereas, had I had a coach to say, wait, no, go this way. You can avoid that pothole if you go this way. I wish I would have had that. And I hope that I can be that to some of you. So if you're interested in my coaching, head over to drmocoaching.com. If you would like a side of medical care and you're in our states, head to amstelehealth.com. My coaching and the medical care go together. Current patients get a discount on coaching as well by design, but they're meant to work together. Also, as a request, head over to Instagram and follow me at Dr. Mo Gibbons and shoot me a DM with the word success. And we can get you some more information. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Dr. Mo Show. If you found it at all helpful, please like, subscribe, share it with someone who is maybe thinking about a transition, going through a transition, or you're just in your traditional job thinking, I need to do this differently. How can I do that? Where do I go? What do I do? Head over to drmocoaching.com for more information. I will see you next week here, or just shoot me a DM on Instagram. It's Dr. Mo Gibbons. I will see you there.